Welcome to this training session on Azure Governance. Today, we will focus on applying and managing tags on resources to logically organize, secure, and track your Azure environment. Let's get started. Let's explore Azure Resource Tags. What exactly are they? They are metadata labels consisting of key value pairs that you can assign to your Azure resources. At a basic level, tags allow you to logically organize your cloud footprint, which is crucial as your environment scales. Why should you use them? Without tags, identifying resource owners or finding sunset dates becomes a massive administrative headache. By applying tags, you attach important metadata directly to the resource. How do you get started? You can apply them manually via the portal or automatically enforce them using Azure Policy. This simple flowchart shows the hierarchical levels where you can apply tags. You can tag the subscription, the resource group, or the specific Azure resource itself, allowing for a multi-layered metadata strategy. Let's dive deeper into why tagging is an absolute necessity. The primary reasons organizations use tags are tracking ownership, managing cost allocation, and enforcing governance policies. For the basics, you use tags to build custom taxonomies. A perfect example is creating an environment tag with values like production or dev/test to separate workloads. As a deep dive, this organization enables your finance department to perform chargeback or showback billing. This means you can track exactly which department spent what in Azure. When should you do this? It's highly recommended to plan your tagging taxonomy and strategy from day one. This mind map highlights the 4 primary pillars of tagging. Starting from the top, organization helps categorize resources. Cost management drives financial accountability. Governance guarantees compliance with corporate rules. Finally, automation relies on tags to filter and target resources via scripts. While tags are incredibly flexible, you must understand their limitations. What are these constraints? They are hard limits built into the Azure platform. For the basics, keep in mind that most Azure resources, resource groups, and subscriptions are limited to exactly 50 tags per resource. Some specific resources, like Azure Automation or DNS zones, are even stricter, limited to just 15 tags. Furthermore, tag names cannot exceed 512 characters, and for storage accounts, that drops to 128 characters. Values max out at 256 characters. As a deep dive, be careful with your naming conventions, because illegal characters like percentage signs, ampersands, and angle brackets are strictly prohibited in tag names. This diagram breaks down the hard limits you will encounter. From the central tag object, you can see the maximum count of 50 tags branching upward, the character limits for names and values branching right, and the restricted syntax characters branching downward. Next, we need to address a very common misconception regarding tag inheritance. What is the rule here? Simply put, tags are not inherited by child resources. As a basic rule, if you apply a cost center tag to a resource group, the virtual machines inside that group do not automatically get that tag. Why does Azure do this? It allows for highly granular, resource-specific tagging. So, how do you handle scenarios where you want every resource in a group to share a tag? You must tag each resource individually. But manually tagging every disk and network interface is tedious. For our deep dive, the automated solution is Azure Policy. You can use a built-in policy named Inherit a Tag from the resource group if missing to automate this process entirely. This visual demonstrates the inheritance gap. The resource group at the top is tagged, but the red solid lines show that the virtual machine and virtual network below it receive no inherited tags. The dotted green lines indicate how Azure Policy can bridge this gap by enforcing the tag application. How do we actually apply these tags to our resources? You have a multitude of options. For the basics, you can easily use the Azure portal for one-off tagging. For bulk or automated tasks, you can use Azure PowerShell, the Azure CLI, ARM templates, or the REST API. When is the best time to apply them? The best practice is to apply tags during resource creation using ARM templates or Bicep. This prevents you from having to manually tag resources post-deployment. Remember this basic requirement: to apply a tag, your user account must have write access to the resource, which means holding the contributor role or higher. As a deep dive, when writing ARM templates, tags are defined as key value pairs directly inside the resource block, embedding governance directly into your infrastructure as code. This diagram illustrates the various inputs feeding into the Azure tagging engine. Whether you use the manual portal on the top, script-based PowerShell in the middle, or declarative ARM templates at the bottom, they all converge to successfully label your Azure resource. Let's look at the how for automating tag management using PowerShell. This is crucial for managing environments at scale where manual clicking isn't feasible. For the basics, you can use the new AZ tag complete, providing the resource ID and the tag hash table to apply a completely new tag to a resource group or individual resource. But what if the resource already has tags and you just want to add one more? Here is the deep dive. You use the update AZ tag complete with the operation merge parameter. This safely combines your new tag with the existing tags on the resource without deleting the old ones. Conversely, if you want to wipe the slate clean and standardize the tags, you use update AZ tag with the operation replace parameter. This completely overwrites any existing tags with the new ones you specify. This flowchart maps the behavior of the update AZ tag complete. The initial command splits into two distinct operational paths, merge on the left, which preserves existing metadata, and replace on the right, which performs a destructive overwrite of your previous tagging structure. To enforce tagging rules at a massive scale, we turn to Azure Policy. What does this do? It acts as a strict gatekeeper. For the basics, you can assign the built-in policy called require a tag and its value on resources to a specific scope. Why do this? Because it guarantees that your governance standards are enforced organization-wide. If an engineer forgets to add the mandatory cost center tag during a deployment, Azure physically blocks the creation of the resource. How do you handle environments that were built before you implemented this rule? For our deep dive, you can use a modify policy effect and trigger a remediation task. This uses an Azure managed identity to go back into your environment and automatically append the missing tags to your older, non-compliant resources. This sequence diagram maps out a blocked deployment. The user attempts to deploy a resource without a tag to Azure ARM. ARM hands the request to Azure Policy for evaluation. Finding no tag, Policy returns a deny signal, resulting in a deployment failed error sent back to the user. Finally, let's look at the biggest driver for tagging, cost management. What is the impact here? When you apply tags to your resources, those tags are injected directly into your Azure cost management and billing data. For the basics, if you tag resources by department, you can immediately generate reports showing exactly how much each department is spending. How do you view this? You simply navigate to the cost analysis blade and filter your view by a specific tag. This functionality is what makes chargeback or showback billing models possible. Our final deep dive tip: remember that detailed usage exports only show tags applied directly at the resource scope. Because tags aren't inherited, a tag on a resource group won't help your billing report unless the specific resources inside it are also explicitly tagged. Our final diagram shows the financial flow. The resource tagged with department equals HR feeds its telemetry into Azure Cost Management. The administrator then uses the filtering tool to isolate the HR tag, which directly generates an accurate departmental cost report.
Welcome to quicktechie.com. So just type in quicktechie.com here. Then you can go through the material which is provided by Quicktechie. So we have first of all video courses which you can go here and you can find the various video courses across the technologies as well as finance domain. So if you see in Microsoft, we have 8 programs currently running. Next, you can go through the ebooks available. So all the ebooks which are in PDF format today, and you can download this. So let me go through Microsoft certification ebooks. You can click on any of this and you can see this is the PDF available for you to download. So these are the premium ebook mostly available on quicktechie.com platform only. Now the second part is exam simulator. As we primarily focus on the all technology companies and finance domain certification preparation material, so this is company wide listed here and you can go through this. So let me go through the Microsoft one again. You can see this is all Microsoft related certification. AB730 exam, if you open it, so you can see here this, and all the practice papers are available here. Today we have a 5 practice paper. So click on the first practice paper, it would load the questions. You can answer this question. This is way you can answer it and you can move to the next question. Now third material we wanted to highlight is an audiobook. So we started recently with the audiobooks as well, which you can listen on the go, and various technology wise ebooks are available. And at the last, this is our alumni. These people who are subscribing to our courses and this platform, they are all listed here. And at the end, I wanted to tell you, if you find any course or training or certification preparation material which you want to get us prepare for yourself, please put on the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, on Udemy, or on this platform itself, quicktechie.com, then please put the comment, or you can even send an email to using this contact us options here. You can directly do the WhatsApp message. You can call us on this numbers as well.